Thank you to all the supporters, donators, and patrons on Patreon.
And now back to your regularly scheduled deprogramming.
Alice, wake up! Please wake up, Alice! Alice! Please wake up, Alice!
Before you click off from this video, please make sure you subscribe. This is my backup channel, which is essential to save for anyone who appreciates or is in any way interested in the topics I cover. If my main channel is shut down by YouTube, which could happen at any time since I've already had videos about women's rights removed and labeled as hate speech, this is where I will be re-uploading my videos and posting new ones. In the meantime, I'll be trying to attract viewers and subscribers from my main channel over here. So I'll be posting fresh videos consisting mostly of response pieces, supplemental information to longer videos on my main channel, and maybe even some informal rants and current events based off my Instagram posts. Okay, so let's pick up from where my main video about this character left off, with Callum, aka Hannah Mouncey, being told he can no longer compete in Australian female handball.
A new career had formed where she could be herself in a sport she loves. Hannah was elated until the unthinkable happened.
For months, AFL administrators assured Hannah she could play in the new Women's League. Then, on the eve of the draft, they had a change of heart. Suddenly there were concerns over Hannah's size and strength and the safety of the other players.
Okay, the way he says suddenly there were concerns tries to frame legitimate threats to women's rights and safety as if they're meaningless afterthoughts. When it comes to sports, safety of athletes should always be of utmost importance. The entire reason females have sex-segregated sports from males is to ensure an even playing field where women are safe to play and compete.
At 6'2" and weighing 100 kilos, the Australian Football League has ruled that Hannah is too powerful to play in its elite women's competition.
Good hands, Hannah, great hands.
Because she was once a man.
He's still a male. Born male, die male. Non-medically necessary reduction of testosterone and increase of estrogen does not transform a 6'2" man into a female.
Dr. Watson suspects there are other, more sinister factors at play. More sinister factors at play.
Oh, right. Here come those sinister, evil women who don't want to see women's rights be destroyed so that men in dresses and nail polish can have their delusions validated. Oh, how sinister.
I'm just wondering whether they did not want to have someone like Hannah representing their new league. They wanted a presentable, beautiful female.
Now this quack job is equating being female with being beautiful. He's basically alleging that this man was somehow excluded from playing a female contact sport on the basis that he's not beautiful enough.
Who could be the face of AFLW. A trans woman may not be what they desire. The people who seem to have the biggest problem with this is male administrators.
This trans-identified male is falsely portraying opposition to males in female sport as coming solely from males. In doing so, he attempts to also portray women as a whole as being in favor of male and female sport. He specifically tries to separate himself from other males and uses the term male administrators when speaking of his opposition in order to gain even more distance and try to distinct himself as being different to a male authority figure, even though he is quite literally being portrayed as an authority figure in this interview and is obviously a male.
But the female competitors haven't raised their voices at all. The people who seem to have the biggest problem with this is male administrators, but the female competitors haven't raised their voices at all.
He then holds back a smirk as he says the other female competitors, quote, haven't raised their voices at all. That's the entire point of this kind of propaganda, to back up the sexist policies being implemented in sport, government, universities, to silence women and keep us from sharing our concerns, lest we be faced with a barrage of accusations that we're transphobic or bigoted or even face deplatforming or loss of a job. It's important to note in researching this character and the media pieces about him, I've yet to find an interview or quote from even one woman who was forced to play with or against Callum Mouncey. This entire 60-minute interview includes the voices of exactly 4 people, 2 men and 2 men who claim to be women.
Lisa Watson knows better than most
Check out that creepy tongue flick and deranged smirk.
what Hannah's going through. She's a doctor who specialises in transgender health issues and is also a transgender athlete.
Not only does this man enjoy impersonating women, but he also specializes in brainwashing female children to believe they're born in the wrong body and need harmful and dangerous surgeries to correct their natural female bodies.
After 2 years of hormone replacement therapy, she says Hannah's body has no residual benefits from her time as a male.
Prior to her transitioning, she had a V8 motor powering this big muscle frame. Now she's transitioned and her testosterone level has dropped and her muscle mass has decreased and her strength and stamina has decreased. She's now got a little 4-cylinder engine, so she's actually at a physical disadvantage.
Just to recap, in case you think you heard that wrong because it's so outrageous, this man claims a 6'2" man with decreased testosterone is just like being a real female because the suppression of testosterone is like a car going from a V8 motor to having a little 4-cylinder engine. He claims that this bulky, muscular, professional male athlete is now at a disadvantage to women half of his size in a contact sport, simply because he's taking some synthetic hormone replacements? Just no. This so-called doctor is clearly deluded by his own desire to promote his personal cross-dressing fetish as a new tool to remove women's right to sex-segregated spaces, including sports.
How do you find going up against the women?
Look, they're tough. They rip in. They give as good as they get, as you'd expect. You know, they're just as passionate about it. So, you know, it's been great. And male, female, whatever, common threads don't change.
Male, female, whatever? Common threads don't change? Excuse me, what? What does he think he has in common with women? Wearing a dress does not make a woman, and it definitely doesn't make a man a woman. Many women who play professional sports choose to wear clothing that is not particularly stereotypically feminine. Many athletes practically live in sweatpants and hoodies.
Common threads don't change.
To claim that he has, as he puts it, a common thread with females because he's grown out his hair a bit and put on a dress is a ridiculous act of misogyny. Women are pressured to wear sexualized and feminine clothing to conform to the demands of male-dominated society, which has and does use clothing to police women's subservience to male dominance. During the 1970s in New York City, women were stopped and frisked by the police to make sure they were wearing at least 3 pieces of female clothing. Those who weren't were arrested. Today, many women do not like and refuse to wear feminine clothing. For the time being, the law allows us to legally walk the streets in pants, sans dresses, and makeup. Though we all know women who don't wear makeup are seen as ugly, lazy, and tired. Imagine if I said that because I wear pants and boots, I have a common thread with all males that doesn't change, and I should be accepted amongst men and by society at large as a male because I wear pants and boots like a man. It's time for people to stop playing around with women's safety and rights. The feelings of males should never be prioritized over listening to women and our experiences based on our unique biological and material reality and the way we experience living in a male supremacist society. I hope at least some of you enjoyed this more informal, less edited, off-the-cuff style of video. If you do, please leave a comment and let me know. And don't forget to go over to my main channel and check out the videos you may have missed. Subscribe to my channel for more unique content about sex robots, transhumanism, the normalization of pedophilia and drag kids, and the manufactured consent of transgender ideology. Please like, share, and subscribe to help subvert censorship and support independent, female-created media. This subject matter is dark. Positive messages are appreciated. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't let them gaslight you.